Hey Tim, good to see you again.
Yo, Miss D. Good to see you again too.
Do you mind taking your hat off? It makes it a bit difficult to maintain eye contact.
Yeah, but it gives me a serious case of hat hair, so once I put it on, I'll leave it on. Besides, if you have bad news, I might not want you to see me too well.
I can't argue with any of that, and I do indeed have bad news. Remember those few traffic tickets you told me about?
Of course, I emailed you all the paperwork, just like you asked.
Well, that paperwork has a lot worse things on it than a couple of traffic tickets. Let's start with this failure to yield.
What? I was merging and the guy wouldn't move over. We bumped fenders, pulled over, and the insurance company took care of it.
Yes, but sometime before the insurance company took care of it, a police officer wrote a report. Most law schools require you to report anything more significant than a minor traffic violation. Failure to yield is more serious and must be reported.
But I had that record expunged after I was clean for a year.
That doesn't make any difference. Do you know what happens when a record is expunged?
It goes away?
No. It stays on your permanent record for every government agency or bar examiner to see, with a little note next to it that says, expunged. So when you go to get your license 3 or 4 years from now, you're in double trouble, once for getting the ticket, and once for failing to report it to the law school. And maybe triple trouble, if you also fail to report it to the bar examiners.
So I have to report it. But it's not serious, is it?
Not if you report it. But this other ticket, for exceeding the speed limit in a school zone, is a bigger problem.
How could it be? I was only going 3 miles over the limit on those stupid, your speed, signs.
Right. And if you'd gone to court and paid the ticket, you'd be fine. But you didn't, and a bench warrant was issued. You might call that an FTA. Failure to appear.
Yeah, that was a big fine, too. But I paid it.
You also were taken to a police station and fingerprinted, right?
Yeah, and my father picked me up a few hours later.
Well, that counts as having been arrested. You must report that almost everywhere. And why did the cops pull you over to find out you had a bench warrant?
They said I was going too fast. But it was a long empty road, and I was only a few miles over the limit. And it was late at night. So no one else was out.
So it's okay to speed in the dark, when a deer or a dog might run across the road. You could kill an animal, or yourself.
I was in control of my car. I've never been at fault in an accident.
Except that failure to yield.
I told you, the other guy wouldn't let me in.
Joe, you've told me that you think traffic laws are stupid, unimportant, and don't apply to you. You seem to believe that violating the law just means robbery and murder. But I can promise you that most law schools will disagree. You've got a serious problem here, and unless you address it that way, you might not get into law school.
Well, how will the law school find out? Are they going to search police records in every state?
No. But 3 years from now the Board of Bar Examiners will. They'll also look at the application you submitted to your law school. And if they find anything you didn't put on your law school application, you're automatically in trouble. They could decide that you are of unfit moral character and not grant you a license. Your law school could revoke your diploma, keeping all your money, of course.
You kidding, right?
I'm laughing.
But why does anyone care? It's only traffic tickets.
Admissions people care for 2 reasons, Joe. One is that traffic laws protect people. They protect other people from you, and you from yourself. The second is that law schools have 10 or more applicants for every seat. They prefer choosing someone who thinks the law is important all the time to one who thinks that law is a game where, if you lose, no big deal.
So what do I have to do?
Write the exact details of each event, when and where it happened, whether you went to court, paid a fine, etc. And with the failure to appear, come up with a good reason why not. And I was too busy doesn't count as a good reason. Then apologize. Show an awareness that laws apply to someone even as cool as you, and not just to those other people, whoever they are. When you think it's complete, send it to me for my review.
Will I have another appointment then?
Yes, if I think the work isn't good enough. If it's adequate, we can finish up by phone and email.
Boy, you sure are tough, Miss DeLoggio.
Not nearly as tough as the law schools will be, Joe. So go fix the problem while it's still fixable. A little extra work now can save you from a serious problem in the future.